First of all, are you 100% fit to play?
Yes, I'm 100% fit to play, yeah.
What do you think about the situation with all the other injured players?
It's unfortunate for sure. I think we're missing a lot of important players in our club. But we have a wide squad now where we have a lot of youth players coming up who need to prove themselves that they are ready to fight for this club and fight for a spot for the future.
We talked about at the press meeting just now that with the situation you're in the Superligaen, where you put yourself in a difficult situation, you might see this match tomorrow as one that you just need to get past really quick. How do you see that?
I see it as another opportunity to learn. At the same time, we are striving for 3 points. We're looking for a good result, especially at home in Parken. We have something to prove. We have a lot of talent, a lot of good players in our squad, and we need to start proving that with the results.
How was it? You say that you have to learn. What did you learn from the last game? I can imagine it was quite tough out there.
Yeah, especially you have to play a lot faster. The tempo is on another level, especially with Man City being arguably the best team in the world right now. But you learn a lot about yourself, how to be disciplined when you're tired, because you spend most of the game running after the ball. So I think that's one of the things that I'm definitely going to have in the back of my mind tomorrow.
Does that also mean that you think there's maybe a chance of a little miracle tomorrow? For
sure. I think football is always full of surprises. You never know. I've seen Man City struggle against less rated teams, and I think we can get a good result tomorrow if we're all up for it.
You've probably seen them play on TV lots of times, but now you've played against them. Does that give you a better idea about how to play them? Yeah,
for sure. Like I said before, we learn a lot from these games. From the first game especially, you learn to stay disciplined when you're tired, and we got to focus on those things tomorrow night. And then I think there are situations where we had some good attacks, especially in the last part of the game with Mokaro and Halkon's situation. So I think we have chances, we just have to take them, especially against Man City.
In the last game in the Superliga, there was a little bit criticism from the coach about the situation where you received a goal in the injury time. Have you evaluated that, and what can you learn from that experience?
For sure, it's played on my mind for the last, I don't know, 2-3 days that it happened. I think it's something that you have to eliminate from your game for the future, and it can't happen, especially in these games where we need every 3 points that we can get. So I've definitely evaluated it with both myself and the coach, with the players as well, in situations where we could have done better, and I know for sure that we're going to do better in the league.
What went wrong in that situation?
I guess it's a situation where you need to prevent what you think could be the worst case scenario, and you have to think like that for all of the attacks of the opposition, and I think maybe for that scenario we might have let our guard down just by a centimetre, and unfortunately that can't happen at this level.
And is it the same against City? Because they sometimes use the space. Holland, you see him use the space. Is that something you can learn from also before this game?
Yes, for sure. Like, you learn so much from these Champions League games, playing the best teams in the world, and hopefully that's going to help us do better in the league, because ultimately I would see the league as most important for us to continue playing Champions League for the years on and forward.
I can imagine that playing against some of the best players in the world is a big experience. Have you felt that in terms of getting more messages from friends and so on with wow, you're starting in a game against City on Etihad? How do you experience these days?
I get a lot of support from my family and friends back home. It's very rare that a New Zealander comes to Europe and plays in the Champions League, so they are very proud of me, and I hope I can just continue to make them proud and the fans in Copenhagen proud.
Thank you.
Hvem havde de højeste odds på FCK's kampe i september måned? Det var igen Unibet.